Another day in the NBA here, and today we've got ourselves a little itsy bitsy teeny weeny 4-game slate to dig into. But the work begins as it always does here on the Splash Play channel. We're going to dig in and compare my projections to one of the industry leaders out there, our friends over at Stokastic. We'll see who the top plays are, who the top value plays are. We'll also go game by game, check the ownership along the way, see where the leverage spots are. We'll run some sims both on my new splashplaypodcast.com site as well as over at Stokastic, where my data will not be biased at all. We're going to see what their top ROI lineups are. I'll do a handful as well over at Stokastic. By the end of this video, guys, you'll know all the industry's must plays along with my splash plays for today, Friday, January 16th. Let's get into it. Again, always trying to push some new and exciting improvements over at the new splashplaypodcast.com site. So check it out for yourself, and we'll get into it here. And let me see if this time this is actually going live on Twitter. Okay, it is. The NBA video today did not, so just wanted to make sure. Right before the show, we got Kawhi Leonard ruled out. We also we got more stuff coming in. Okay, Sabonis going to play. We also got Emmanuel quickly downgraded to doubtful. So that is something that I updated for right before the show. Again, just kind of hand working my way through projections and rotations and all that. But I did update for it. So as a result, James Harden, your top rated guy in the slate. In fact, the only guy who I have today over 50 fantasy points is going to be James Harden, 50.5 for me. Because Kawhi is still in the Stokastic data, James Harden looking a little bit less good there, 43.9 projection. But with the updated data here, with James Harden only at about 3% expected owned before, Kawhi just got ruled out here. James Harden's going to come up a lot. So right now I'm getting James Harden in 16% of my top lineups. For the Clippers overall, not a great total going against Toronto, only 105 implied points. Two teams that don't play with great pace. Toronto only at about a 99 pace rounded up. Clippers, one of the league's lowest at 96 rounded up pace. That's per possessions per game is what that number means basically. For James Harden here, he's one of those guys where he's going to look a lot better because of having Kawhi out. Kawhi not available for the revenge game today at Toronto. Hate to see it. But for James Harden overall, and we should actually go over to NBA Wowie, even though we should try to space it out a little bit so I'm not doing it up top. I also meant to give some shout outs at the top of the video too while I pull this up. There's a guy, Race for the Prize, who I used to do DK live shows with back in the day when I was at Stokastic full time, and they would have me do that as like part of my weekly workload. I'm pulling this up at the same time. Let's take off Kawhi. Let's take off Bogdanovich. Why not Chris Paul and Beal too? Let's get a real dialed in sample here. But he's a guy that I used to do streams with. He had a really nice tweet about how like he watched my stream and felt like what I'm doing right now, where I was going from doing the Google sheet here every day to like now using the AI tools, stuff that I built with Claude here that you guys get to see on stream now every day. And he was saying how that's like the next step for things. It was really kind to see and was like obviously him thinking about it a lot. So shout out to that guy. And also shout out to Will, who won 100K the other day. Like I mentioned, gave me credit here for some of the stuff I built on the Splash Play channel for helping to make some good swaps that got him actually to take down the 100K 2 days ago. He had also mentioned to you guys out there, if you're curious, he felt like the simulator was the best thing that he got value out of. That was how he got on a Jordan Miller. I think swapped off Brooke Lopez to something else. So he really, kind of used the tools and actually got a lot of value out of it. He also sent like a very generous tip off of Venmo, which I won't share the exact number, but was like really kind of him. So I want to give a shout out to him too. And hopefully, for all you guys, I hope you're all like Will. I hope you all win 100K. Hope you use the data I have or just, maybe your own intuition, but use the stuff I'm giving you. But it was like really nice of him. So I want to give those two guys a shout out. It's always nice to hear nice things when you do good work. I also had a nice conversation. I'm saying the word nice too much. I was Stokastic yesterday where they were also very kind about how the work I've been doing here as well. So, I hear it from you guys a lot, but for me as a person that's inherently so negative, it's nice to like see, I'm not, but like, I'm like a realist. I'm a pragmatic person. It's nice to get like nice stuff back for yourself, to hear positive things about yourself, to hear, positive things from other people. And it's also see people getting positive results, like Will winning 100K. It's crazy. It's obviously him doing his own work too. But, that's what I think happens when you strap in, do the work, and you keep doing good work every day, at least as best you can. Good things start to happen. So we'll see. But your top plays here for the Clippers, with no Kawhi and also no Bogdanovich, no Chris Paul, no Bradley Beal. Your key usage guys, we're keeping Derek Jones on because he doesn't matter that much. But you can see here, James Harden's put up 37% usage, about 11 assists per 100 possessions, 1.43 fan sports minute, a little bit above league average tree shooting as well. So he's able to get his shot off. Besides that, Ivica Zubac at 1.2 fan sports minute, another great producer, does get an uptick with no Kawhi. Kobe Sanders not producing super well, 0.5 fan sports a minute, but he'll probably be out there a good amount. Jordan Miller only 0.7. We're hoping we see more out of these guys as your secondary, tertiary Clippers pieces. Brook Lopez just shy of 1 fantasy point per minute. He'll get more upside as well, using that losing that Kawhi usage off the court. And that's about it. So Batum, not great. Really not a lot of great producers, but James Harden really pops out. So that's really the main reason we're going over here. So James Harden today, going to project well for me at about a 50.5 projection. It might be even higher when you get the adjusted minutes coming in from Stokastic. But the total's not great for what it's worth. For that game with Toronto, for the Clippers overall, their implied total. So, getting Kawhi out definitely helps, but it's still not like a smash spot. It's not like they're playing Washington today. Tyrese Maxey, number 2 here. 48.0 projection flat. Right now, about 11% owned. Again, another player here that's going to come down a little bit more. I mean, or at least, at the worst, he'll hold steady. But James Harden's going to take a lot more ownership. That projection should be better overall with Kawhi out. But Maxey definitely going to be a pivot point to him. The ownership actually might come down from 11 by a little bit. But even if it holds, he's a lower owned player than James Harden. Direct pivot point for him. The spot versus Cleveland today. Pretty good total at 233.5 on this slate. Not the best, but one of the better ones. So no issue with Maxey ever, really. Just feel like at this point, Philadelphia is mostly fully stocked. Embiid is looking the most Embiid-like lately. You got Edgecombe, you got Paul George, you got Quentin Grimes playing barely at this point, but he does still exist. You have enough guys there that I'm not crazy about Maxey, but at his price tag, he'll be a direct pivot to Harden for sure. We got Michael Porter Jr., another guy who always pops up for me. My projection about 3.2 fantasy points higher than Stokastic. For MPJ, we have had a player. I really should just be using the splash play side. I'm using my Excel still because I'm accustomed to doing that, but I could also pull up these stats a lot faster when I do it over here. Michael Porter Jr. on the year, 1.28 fantasy points per minute, 30% usage, 13% rebound rate, 19% assist rate, all good stuff. Usage rate, 24th highest in the league, so he's been up there. Today, you're getting him against Chicago, which on paper is a matchup we want to get to. That said, we have seen MPJ play down a little bit. It was really disappointed with him in that spot against the Pelicans, but here we'll get more pace, a similarly bad defense, so maybe for him, a low-pace spot versus a bad defense, not where he's going to have the most success. Actually, just out of curiosity for Michael Porter Jr., how many shots did he get up versus the Pelicans? Because I did not actually see that. Checking it over here. Change the screen for a minute. 4 for 12 from 3, 7 for 20 overall. So that'll do it. That'll do it. Still put up 20 real life points. It's crazy to shoot that poorly. 35% from the floor, 33% from 3. You still put up 20. But MPJ, the big thing is that maybe get a little more pace here. We'll give him more room to operate, get where he needs to go. If nothing else, I expect him to play closer to what he should do normally as opposed to shooting, that poorly from the floor when he has been, 62% true shooter on the year, 62.3 if you want to be accurate to the decimal point. MPJ has just been great in a spot like this where he bombed out last time. Happy to go back there. Right now, I'm getting 28% in my top lineups. The field's at 20. Scotty Barnes at number 4 here, $8,800 salary. He looks better in my data because having Emmanuel quickly out. Quickly got downgraded to doubtful. We also still have no RJ Barrett. So Scotty Barnes, let's go to NBA Wowie again. It's only a 4-game slate. We can do some Wowie time. Let me catch up on the chats. Enjoy these spots with no 10K guys. Get to different blends when building. That's fair. That's fair. And you also have a boner. Love to hear all the parts. I think what I'll do today, because it is a 4-game slate, we'll have some bonus time. I will also show you guys my sim thing, which I'm playing with right now. I don't think of it. I'm not sure if it'll ever be something I share publicly because I don't want to compete with Stokastic. I think you're better off using, their sim stuff as opposed to anything that I'm playing around with on Claude. Like they have a data science team and like professional coders that built their stuff. That said, why am I scrolling? I'm just put it this way. That said, I have been playing with it and actually had a really good set of lineups yesterday, even though I, an idiot, did not late swap off of Yusuf Nurkic when he didn't start because I was busy hanging out with the wife, so I just wasn't paying enough attention. Even though I updated the data for the people, I didn't see the actual alert come through. So that's my bad for my own lineups. Ended up with like 30% Nurkic, which ended up not going well if you missed the slate again. I guess he's just out of the rotation now. But that said, like, ended up having some lineups that did bubble up using the simulator I built. So look, I won, finished top 5 earlier this week with Stokastic Sims. A lot of merits to them. People keep winning, finishing top 10 with Stokastic data. But I think it's fun to build something new for yourself. And if you can make it work and it's like a little bit different, I still think it's not a bad thing. All right, so our top plays with Barrett, Quickly, and Pirtle off. All three guys unavailable today. Scotty Barnes, you'd expect, even biggest winner here. He's always the best fantasy producer. Now with these guys off, 1.4 fantasy points a minute on 28% usage. Brandon Ingram about 1.2. Mo Bamba not on the team anymore. Rest in peace, but he did have 1.1. Always a good fantasy producer, if not a good real life basketball player. Muklashvili at 1.06. Jamal Shed at 0.93. So all these guys going to come up. Grady Dick played well last time for Toronto. Ended up playing, I believe, 30 minutes it was off the bench. Let's go to the popcorn machine for that. In a similar spot where we did have no Quickly, no Barrett. The difference, though, is we also had Jamison Battle in this game. Today we're not going to have Jamison Battle. So there was a higher minutes ceiling for Grady Dick. The minutes floor of 30, I'm not sure. There's more minutes to go around for Shed, more minutes for Agbaji, probably, even though he doesn't do a whole lot out there. Elijah Martin can earn more. But for Toronto, you got a lot of guys that look a lot better than they would have before in this matchup where it is a slow-paced spot versus the Clippers because you have no Quickly now, in addition to having no Barrett, no Pirtle. So Toronto looking good. Barnes, though, looking particularly good. Right now, I'm getting 2x the field on him, but both those numbers will go up because Stokastic has to update for having Quickly out. Donovan Mitchell getting 14%. The field's at 13 and change, so right with it. My projection at 46.1, dead even with Donovan Mitchell at his number on Stokastic at 46.3. Not a player I'm getting to as much as I think Harden will be when all the things kind of come together. I get to rerun stuff, but I think for how it looks for Donovan Mitchell right now, solid play. I think there's plays where we're going to have more guys that matter out. And Mitchell does have Garland out today, but it really doesn't affect the rates enough. And we're doing NBA Wowie for everybody else. It'd be disrespectful to not do it for Darius Garland, right? So let's take Darius Garland off the court. Let's also put some water in my mouth because I feel like I have extra cotton mouth today. We'll take off Dean Wade too. He doesn't do a whole lot, but he does some stuff. Changes the spacing a little bit, maybe. So with Garland and Wade off, Donovan Mitchell at 1.4 fantasy points a minute, Mobley at 1.1. Jalen Tyson at 1 flat. That's not bad. He's always a little overpriced, but it's not bad. Craig Porter Jr. at 0.9 while shooting poorly, so he's got more ceiling than he's shown so far in his 620 possessions with no Garland, no Wade. Lonzo at 0.75. He's just not the same guy anymore. Jarrett Allen at 1 flat doesn't gain a whole lot from those guys out. You do have Merrill out as well, which changes the arithmetic a little bit, but not enough for me to care. I think for Mitchell, I'm probably underrating him a little bit in this spot. But 9,600, I think Harden to me still feels like the better play. But Mitchell definitely in play as well, much like Maxey as a pivot. Pascal Siakam fields at 34%. I'm getting 25. Good spot against the Pelicans. Not a great defense, though. Pace down spot. They do play a little bit more slowly than you'd like to see. That's it for Siakam. I'm at a 42.7 projection. Stokastic's at 43.3. Not a big discrepancy there, but Pascal Siakam, I think a guy I feel nothing about in the slate, but he's going against a team with a bad defense, so maybe he does hit a ceiling here. I'm getting 25%. The field's at 34. Don't know that there's a reason to get a whole lot more than that. What's his, let's see. Siakam hits 40 plus 55% of the time, 50 plus 26% of the time. So I think what my data is saying, he has to have a target score of 56. The target score on this screen is for the VIP people on the Splash Play sites. If you join a Score Squad VIP, you get access to this. And also now you can log in with Discord too. So it's even easier. You don't have to do a shared password. It'll just auth you with your Discord role when you connect your membership on YouTube to Discord. So it sounds more complicated than it is, but it's like a really simple process now, which is kind of pretty cool. We can do this stuff. But Pascal Siakam here, a 56-point target. That means whenever he's in a winning lineup in the simulation, he has to score 56 points to get there. Actually, it's not winning. It's, I think right now, he has to score top 99%. So 99% of the best score, the winning score amidst all the lineups is what it is, which is like the same thing as top 1%, but it's not exactly. But anyway, for Siakam, he has to score that much. So that's sort of the thing, is that like at his ownership, you need a little bit more of a ceiling. Just go through all the screens here. There we go. For Pascal Siakam, I think a good play. But his projection being just shy of 43, I think not a great play because he's really not hitting that target score much more than his ownership. Joel Embiid, I'm getting 11%. The field's at 19. My projection a little bit lower than Stokastic, so that always does give him that longer-term respect from how well he's been as a producer going back to his MVP days. 42.2 projection for me. They have him at 45.7. Obviously, I have no issue getting some Embiid, but 11% sim rate for me. Let's see what he is over here. Not to keep going to the simulator, but I do like this data. He hits 50 plus 27% of the time, but I guess being center, his target score is a little bit higher at 61%. He only hits his target 8% of the time. And that maths out. Yeah, Embiid to me, definitely a decent play. Definitely a guy, if you are playing a full set of lineups, I think you want to get some exposure to, but not somebody that I think I have to go out of my way to get relative to the projection. He's not going to come up a ton naturally, I guess is a better way to say that. Trey Murphy, a guy who always pops up a little bit in my data. Today, I'm a little bit lower on him than the field. 22% expected ownership. I'm getting him at 19 right now. $8,100 price tag. It's pretty expensive, but my projection has him at 40.5. Stokastic at 39.1. He's really been one of the best shooters in the league. He's been hovering around 66% true shooting in recent games. Where's he at today? 64.3% true shooting, which is still really good. 39% from three, while shooting 8 a game. 50% from the floor overall. Like, really, and he's like awesome. He's really playing incredibly well. He's also had some like great point totals. There's some social media stat that Underdog tweeted out, like a bunch of 30-point games in the last month kind of thing, which is, really helpful for me to know so specifically. But Trey Murphy here, I think has that ceiling. It's Indiana for sure can get there. And they have a lot of wing defenders that could maybe make it hard on him, but I'm okay with, being with the field on Trey Murphy. Okay, being a little bit above it. He's a 5x value for me, but at shooting guard 8,100 might be better ways to spend your money. Nikola Vucevic, 13.5% of the field. I'm getting 13. Not a guy I have a ton of feel for, but still, no Zach Collins in there. He does get decent run. Projected to play 32 minutes today by Stokastic. So my projection's at 40.4. Stokastic has him at 39.4. Brandon Ingram, I'm getting 28%. Fields at 26. Does seem like a situation for Ingram here, getting the uptick in production for no Emmanuel quickly. His rates don't jump up as much as some of the other guys. Like we went through the numbers. He's, kind of stays flat, gets a little bit in usage, but he's not really producing a ton more like a Scotty Barnes is, who kind of becomes like, a top tier fantasy worth minute player. For Ingram, I think he's a good play going against the Clippers. Slow down game, his half court game probably plays well if you're looking for real life basketball reason to play Ingram. But right now, solid play, getting him a little bit above the field. Makes sense with quickly out. You ever factor in teams traveling from West Coast to East Coast? No, it's just Vegas totals. That's all we use. Vegas totals are all you need. It accounts for everything you need to know, and there's nothing noisy in that. That's what you're building everything off of for any reputable market-based projection. Evan Mobley, last guy in here, just doesn't get enough rate-wise. Darius Garland out to stand out to me. At 9,100, you're paying a really ceiling price tag for Mobley as well. I feel like at this price tag, you would need Donovan Mitchell out too, maybe even Jared Allen out for me to feel really good about that number. But right now, I'm getting 5% of the fields at 2, so he's unowned, but he's unowned for a reason. So that's what Evan Mobley looks like. We're going to sort by value here, guys. Before I do that, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Goes a long way for me here. Again, hopefully if you watch these streams, especially if you've watched it, going back to when we started last year, partnering with Unabated to where I am now, building this site out, making it something where hopefully there's a lot more value to you guys here on screen. That's what I'm trying to do every day is get better. And just like you guys, when you are gambling on yourself, and NBA DFS, trying to build good lineups. We're all just trying to get better every day. So that's what we're doing here every day, Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. Join along for that. Hit that like button and subscribe. Does mean a lot for me. As an independent creator, doing the best I can to give you guys a real read on not just my projections, my data, but also stochastic stuff, which is some of the best in the industry you're going to find. Check out Stokastic. Speaking of them, 15% off, only deal they have going right now with that promo code SPLASH over at Stokastic. So go weekly packages, monthly packages, whatever you want to get over there. Even their yearly stuff, it's all 15% off that promo code SPLASH. So go check it out. Use that promo code when you get over there. Great way to be. And last but not least, join the Discord, $5 if you just want to get the chat components, if you want to see my updates as well throughout the night, who the top projected guys are every time I do an update, along with who the highest owned guys, according to Stokastic. You also can go over there and get access to the splashplaypodcast.com site where you're getting all this great data now put into one spot for you. I think really the VIP tier is worth it now fully at $50, but also the Squirt Squad tier. You can see the matchup screen, the matrix screen, which I'll show you guys real fast. Here's the matchup screen that you get to look at in a moment. We go game by game. The matrix screen, you could sort everything and see all these players flat. I guess you won't see ownership when you check it out or Stokastic's data, but everything else I have here, sim numbers. And normally you'll see the player too. It's just, I zoom in for the other screen. There you go. But that's what you get here. So check it out for yourself. Lots of good stuff when you join the channel down below. So please do that. All right. Back over here for our top values. Jamal Shed, like we talked about here, gets an uptick in production. No Emmanuel Quickly, guaranteed minutes floor. Played 34 minutes last time out for Toronto with Quickly and Barrett out. So we'll get Mamukelashvili back in today. It looks like so that does change the equation just a little bit overall. But Jamal Shed, 33 and change minutes at a minimum. Another guy looks like a good value here. Obviously didn't hit the massive ceiling last time out. But for as it is right now, I would say for Jamal Shed, getting 46%, Fields at 31. The Fields ownership is going to come up. I guess mine might come up a little bit more. We saw, him have kind of a floor situation last time out. Grady Dick went hot in particular in that game. I think that hurts a guy like Jamal Shed's production. But you're losing Jamison Battle, so you're gaining Mamukelashvili, losing Battle. That's probably a break even. So Jamal Shed could still have that kind of 20, 25 fantasy point day. But you're expecting it to be better. He's produced about 1 fantasy point per minute, as we saw earlier with Quickly and Barrett and Pirtle off the court. So the only thing that worries you is like it is a low total spot, low pay spot versus the Clippers. Any way to move from NFL to NBA? For just the chat, I don't know how to. I wouldn't know how to do that. Yeah, no, I don't know how to do that, unfortunately. But yeah, there's really no other reason to for the $5 tier. You can still get the Discord on both. If you want to get my data and stuff, you'd have to pay for the higher dollar tier anyway. So you'd have to do that on the NBA channel. Sorry, I can't be of more help on that front. Cam Christie. Cam Christie was not popping up before. I'm giving him 24.5 minutes because he does have to play some more minutes, most likely, of the Clippers being so shorthanded at this point relative to their usual rotation. But last game, we did have John Collins out as well. Not sure if he's going to be out today. We saw Cam Christie, as you can see here, playing 20.5 minutes. Today, I gave him probably a little bit too much because I was scrambling before the show to get some amount of minutes in for these guys. Gave him 24.5. If he comes down a little bit more, that projection will come down. Cam Christie might not be a play that matters. But as it is, if you give him an 18-point projection, he does come up in about 32% of the top lineups. So something to watch out for. The Clippers getting pretty shorthanded. Definitely think you're going to prefer to get to a Jordan Miller type. Kobe Sanders doesn't do a whole lot, but like he'll get more minutes. But Cam Christie, if he does put in 20 minutes in the projection, he might come up a little bit at 3,200 just because like there aren't a lot of guys at 3,200 on the slate. Vika Zubac still has a questionable tag on him, but he does get a pretty big uptick in production, as we saw before, for having no Kawhi Leonard. So Zubac, if he plays, looks good. I have him at a 38 projection. Stokastic still had Kawhi in the data set, so they're a little bit lower there. But as a result, my ownership came up on Zubac, getting him at 27%, Fields at 17. I think Zubac going to be a play where if he is in, he looks really good. If he is out, then if he's out and Collins is out, things get particularly weird. Let's look at the injury report real fast. I want to make sure the status didn't change. All right. So Collins still a Q tag. Zubac still a Q tag. So you'll get Yannick Niederhauser coming up a little bit more. He had a really good day last time out when Collins was out, in addition to Zubac. Basically ended up taking minutes away from Brook Lopez in that spot, as those guys shared 48 minutes roughly. So Niederhauser would come up if you did get Collins and Zubac out. Brook Lopez would come up a bit more. He's been an okay producer, as we saw as well, just shy of 1 fantasy point per minute. But right now for the Clippers, they're already shorthanded with no Kawhi, so everybody's going to look better. But they're potentially really shorthanded if you do take Zubac, if you take Collins off the court. So something to watch out for here. But right now, Zubac coming up at 27% of my lineups. The field is at 16.8 as your number 3 value overall. Colin Murray Boyles, I'm getting 27 right now. The field's at 18. Again, he looks better in my data by about 2 fantasy points because I had to take out quickly before the show. Stokastic hasn't done that yet. Michael Porter Jr. getting 28%, the field's 20. This is just one where my data favors Michael Porter Jr. getting the spot against Chicago. I think you could see the ceiling for him. For MPJ, would have him scoring 60 fantasy points 15% of the time. And this is a Poisson distribution, so it takes sort of randomness on the stats into play. And then if you have any sort of average number, what a Poisson distribution will tell you is that how frequently then, based off of him scoring 20 points a game, how frequently he'd score 21, how frequently he'd score 22, how frequently he'd score 18, 19. That's what these stats are showing you here. But Porter Jr., really can hit that ceiling 15% of the time. They actually have his actual ceiling in the Sims, 70 fantasy points. I do like Michael Porter Jr. a good amount on most slates, so happy to get him above the field here in the spot today. Scotty Barnes looks better in my data because Quickly is still in Stokastic's data set. Hopefully they'll update by the time we get to that sim, but if not, Scotty Barnes right now looks like about a 23% play to me, and that will probably come up a little bit when everything updates. Again, we produces about 1.4 fantasy points a minute when you take Barrett off the court, you take Quickly off the court, you take Pirtle off the court. We saw that massive ceiling the other day. That's what Scotty Barnes brings to the table, though. Pace down spot, maybe a little bit harder to find the peripherals quite as easily. Kobe White, the chalk of the day the other day that disappointed so much. He's back on the menu again, still 6,300, not a bad price tag going against a Brooklyn defense that does play slow, but does play with pretty bad defense overall. About 30% sim ownership right now for me. Fields at 19. Not stoked about Kobe White, but he did suck last time out. So going back there, people will want to play him less after he was mega chalk against Utah and somehow failed against Utah. Claxton I'm low on, getting 20%. The Fields at 29. I guess other ways to go to its center. See, right now, getting more of the Vika Zubac, getting more of Murray Boyles, more of Queen. Still getting Claxton at 20, so pretty even splits at center, it looks like, for me. But I was wondering why Nick Claxton wasn't really coming up. James Harden, again, a top value option, despite being one of the highest protected guy in the slate. He looks a lot better having no Kawhi. It's going to look even better if you do get Collins out. You do get anybody else out for that team. Brandon Ingram, we've talked about already. Jay Huff, technically a top value as well at 4,600. Minutes not the most secure in the world, but Isaiah Jackson still out that concussion, so he can spike his minutes. Right now, projected for 23.2 minutes. An okay play at about a 23.4 projected for me, but not a great play by any stretch. We're going to go game by game here, guys. Again, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It does mean a lot for me. I'm just one guy showing you my work, and I got a lot of work I'm doing off stream. Like lately, I've been up till like 1 a.m. making sure this shit works right. Even yesterday, I was watching Fallout with the wife, and I'm like, had to keep the sim stuff updating and keep working with Claude through it because I'm trying to test late swap stuff in real time as well. So, it's a lot of work, but like right now, I feel really rewarded by what we're getting out of it. So stay along for that journey here Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. You'll get a look at my data. If you want to get more, join down below, do all that stuff. Which I'll talk about in a moment. Stokastic, check it out, 15% off all their data, all their sims. Link down below. Then use promo code SPLASH when you go over to get that money off. Get any package, weekly, monthly. Check it out, 15% off. And the Discord, if you want to get access there, if you want to support the channel here, be a part of the live chat, join for $5. If you want to also get access to the stuff here I'm showing you on screen at the splashplaypodcast.com website, go Squirt Squad tier, go VIP tier, and you'll get stuff like the Matrix and my matchup screen, which I'm about to show you here. Get this for yourself updated throughout the night. And you also have cool advanced stats on here. You can see everything. I think that's relevant for a basketball player, including even how much they're shooting at the rim, mid-range, all of that, three-pointers, corner threes. I think it's really like, I hate to sell stuff like this, but like really, I built this for myself to have everything that I want on it. Maybe I could do a few more visualization type things, but I think it really will add value to your guys' process. And if you're like, Will, maybe win 100K using the sim data that I'm putting out there. If you're just somebody that wants to look at a slate, I think you'll get value from really just the matrix screen, the matchup screen. So check out the stuff down below. Check out splashplaypodcast.com if you want to learn more. But check it out, really. And shout out to you guys that have been signing up because I know a lot of you guys have been lately. All right, we got today we got Pelicans and Pacers, 241.5 applied points. I believe this is our highest total on the slate, and also the first game on the slate. Trey Murphy, like we talked about, Fields at 22. I'm getting 19. I always like Trey Murphy, but I think that price tag at 8,100 getting to be pretty much his ceiling price tag. But he's great, as we see here. Lights out shooting 64.3%. True shooting 39% from three. Really just lighting it up overall. Trey Murphy playing well. Pacers, though, do have decent wing defenders they can throw at him, so maybe it'll be a tough spot for him. Happy to be with the field as much as I can be. Zion Williamson, the field's 24%. I'm only getting 13. Projection's really low for me at 35.4. Stokastic has him at 38.6. And again, in my sim, he's not really coming up. Like what I basically have in my sim is 5,000 of my best projected lineups go against 20,000 field lineups for Stokastic based on the ownership. And it'll give you Zion a good amount. Even with that simming, neutrally off of the Stokastic data to get only 13% Zion sim exposure, like the field's going to play him in a quarter of lineups. I think you're pretty cool moving away from that. But certainly Zion has a ceiling. We just haven't seen it that often. And relative to the matchup today, I'd have him at 1.17 fan sports a minute, while his average is at 1.24. So maybe not the best matchup on paper for Zion here against Indiana. Derek Queen getting 22%, Fields at 24. Missy closing games lately, not a great thing sometimes. Derek Queen, if he's playing well, can close as well. But his price tag is now all the way up. You really need him to get every minute he can. But he's producing well, 1.16 fan sports minute. I would have him a little bit higher today. You have no issue with Derek Queen. Just feel like he's kind of priced as he should be. There's definitely a ceiling, so getting him at 24%, but the field's at 22. Sadiq Bey, I'm getting 14%. Fears, I'm getting 13. That's basically just what happens. These guys probably spike a little bit in terms of their target score, but nothing we're super excited to get there. Pacers on their side, I'm getting a good amount of ownership, but the field's going to get more. Pascal Siakam, right now the field's at 34%. I'm getting 25. Nembhard field's at 37. I'm getting 25. These numbers might drop a little bit as well because of teams like the Clipper, like the Raptors opening up some more value. But right now the Pacers with their really high total, got to imagine they'll hold at least 20 no matter what. So Neesmith at 33, Jay Huff at 30. I'm low on all these guys, but I am getting some. McConnell 22, I'm at 17. Furphy, I'm getting 14. I guess I'm a big Furphy guy. Usually I'm a big furry guy. No, not. I'll say it audibly in case anybody's just like listening and walking around out there like it's a podcast. I'm not a big furry guy. I'm okay with Furphy. I'm not a big Furphy guy either. But Jarris Walker, 20%, Fields at 21. Quentin Jackson, I'm getting 11. Fields at 8. Nothing to me that I'm really meaningfully above the field on. I'm low on Siakam, low on Nembhard, low on Neesmith, but not guys who are going to fade entirely. Cleveland, we got Cleveland at Philly, 233.5 implied points or combined points. Cavaliers, 115.5 implied. For Donovan Mitchell here, Fields at 14. I'm getting 14. Mobley, I'm getting 5%. He projects terribly for me, but he does have a ceiling at 9,100 that people might not have access to because they don't want to pay that price tag. No, please don't clip the one of me calling myself a furry. I in fact find furries to be one of the weirdest ones. Like I can't wrap my head around even a little bit. Because it's like hot. You gotta be hot, and also you gotta like put your dick through the furry. No thanks. I don't need that. Evan Mobley. I've thought through it, obviously, but now no thank you. Evan Mobley, though, I don't really need to get 5%, but if I get it, that's fine. Given the field's not playing him at all. Jared Allen, Fields at 15. I'm getting 16. Jalen Tyson, Fields at 24. I'm getting 18. DeAndre Hunter, again, I'm with these guys for the most part. Craig Porter Jr., I think people will try to cram in. I know some of the people in general always love Craig Porter Jr. Anytime you get one of the guards out. And he can play more because his defense has been really solid on the year, so he does earn more minutes. But it's also entirely possible that you get Hunter out there more. You get Lonzo playing more over him, during stretches of the game. Proctor theoretically could earn a few more minutes. Get nothing you love, though. Philly on their side, really just kind of holding hands to the field on Maxey, 11%. I'm getting almost 12. Embiid, Fields at 19. I'm getting 11, though my projection is still about 3.5 fantasy points lower than where Stokastic has it. VJ Edgecombe getting 9% dead with the field. Paul George, I'm getting 16. Fields at 18. Nothing really to note here for Philadelphia. The full strength team at this point. Embiid, obviously, black hole still. But he's playing better, and I think visually he's less annoying, not falling down all the time. Maxey, those are your key guys here. Paul George flattening out really meaningfully, only 1.04 fantasy points a minute. Furries are quite strange, I'll give you that. Thank you. I'm glad we're in agreement on the great furry debate. Everybody's wondering, where do you stand? And I'm like, I'm willing to put it out there. Chicago at Brooklyn, 226.5 combined points here expected. We got Nikola Vucevic, still no Josh Giddey, obviously. Vucevic, 13% is what I'm getting. Fields at 13.5. For the Bulls, they're 112.5 implied points. Kobe White, again, not going to be a half the lineups play today, thankfully, but I am getting him at 30%. The Field's at 19, and my sim exposures I've noticed are like pretty flat because I think the taking 10,000 kind of sims thing with 20,000, I guess 25,000 lineups competing in all of them, it definitely makes the numbers I've noticed get less pointed because of how much that distribution is like spread out. But still getting Kobe White above the field here by 10%. I think he's a good play, and the fact that he did bomb his mega chalk the last time he played, not going to be a bad thing. What are my thoughts on cloppers? What are cloppers? And starting Kobe White in DFS. Yeah, for the, again, I don't know what the first one is. For Kobe White, though, again, I really think that he's the kind of player, the fact that everybody's not going to be there. Like, frankly, if I got Kobe White in half my lineups today, I'd be like, but if there isn't better value that opens up, and, Toronto and the Clippers are going to look a lot better. But I think Kobe White's still going to be a rock solid play. And if he does hit the ceiling today, I just don't think people would be there as much as they would be if he wasn't total shit the last time that he played his mega chalk. Brooklyn on their side, Michael Porter Jr., the biggest stand for me here, getting 28%. Fields at 20. Besides that, Nick Claxton getting 20%. Fields at 29. Definitely a chalkier play for the field. He looks okay to me, but definitely not the kind of player I'm needing to get to. Drake Powell, 17% for me. Fields at 22. He's going to play about 24 minutes of Stokastic data, but he does play pretty poorly. Only 0.65 fantasy points a minute, but sometimes you might need that $3,600 shooting guard small forward, and maybe he does suck a little bit less, given the fact that he has been awful in most facets of basketball so far this year. Noah Clowney Fields at 18. I'm getting 14. Daron Sharp Fields at 19. I'm getting 14 as well. Yeah, not a lot to love for Brooklyn. MPJ, though, the tournament option, I think, anytime to be 20% or less owned, I think it's worth getting to. Clippers in Toronto, we already found out no Kawhi, so that's helpful to know in advance here. But James Harden right now only 3% expected owned by Stokastic. That's going to come up, I wouldn't say exponentially, but will come up a really big amount. Actually, at 3%, it's probably going to come up exponentially when they do update for no Kawhi. But I'm getting 16% Harden with the pool being limited to the 3% Harden that's in the ownership right now. So he's going to come up, if I had to guess, he'll be 33, 40% maybe played. Sim numbers will probably be a little bit higher, or might be a little bit higher. Ivica Zubac, 27% right now for me. Fields at 17. He also looks like a much better play. For getting Kawhi out. We looked at the rates earlier in the video if you want to see that part of things. John Collins, if he does play, Fields at 3%, I'm getting 2. If he doesn't play, you'll get Brooke Lopez looking better. You'll get Yannick Niederhauser looking like somebody you can actually go to a little bit. But for how it looks right now, Collins to me, not super playable. Fields at 3, I'm getting 2. Jordan Miller, a decent producer on the year at 0.84 fan sports minute. He could also shoot fairly well. 64% true shooting. Won that 100K for our guy Will the other day. So Jordan Miller, guy does get an uptick in opportunity for having no Kawhi in. And yeah, that's really the biggest thing for Jordan Miller. Chris Dunn, he'll be out there. More opportunity theoretically with no Kawhi, but the rates don't really go up for him. He just doesn't shoot enough. 0.7 fan sport minute guy. Gets to 0.72 in the data for me right now. Cam Christie popping up, but I probably gave him too many minutes. This is going to move around a little bit. If I had to guess, maybe Jordan Miller's minutes come up a little bit more. Cam Christie's minutes will come down in Stokastic data. So I would almost throw out that Cam Christie is like a legit play in my data. He's not a super good per minute guy, and I just don't think the minutes will be as high as I'm giving him. Again, I just scrambled before the show to get him in, so we had something to look at for it. Toronto, the other side of the equation here, where we also got guys ruled out right before the show, had a better read on minutes here, so I feel good about Toronto's rotation relative to my guesswork. Jamal Shed, the highest sim exposure for me, 46%. The Field's at 31. Ingram, though, I'm up above the field on because, again, the data hasn't caught up on Stokastic side. 4 quickly being out alongside Barrett, alongside Pirtle. They had the other 2 guys, but quickly being out was a new thing. Murray Boyles getting 27%. Getting Mamukla back in for him is not a great thing, but it will still be a thing where Murray Boyles going to play low 30s minutes no matter what. Scotty Barnes, the best per minute producer with all these guys off the court on the year. He's produced 1.2. And you take Barrett off, you take Quickly off, you take Pirtle off. We're talking about 1.4 fan sports minutes. So really meaningful uptick for Barnes. It is a pace down spot. So those peripherals, like I mentioned earlier, won't flow as easily as potentially here because you are playing at a lower pace. Maybe Kawhi being off increases the pace a little bit. You would hope, but the Vegas total here does not make you feel like that would be the case. And that is your main slate, guys. Of course, you want to see the night slate too. We can look at it real fast. You got Timberwolves in Houston. No Anthony Edwards in this spot. Gobert back in after his little suspension. You can see the numbers here. Şengün. I also do sim the night slate too. So if you want that data, it is part of the VIP package. If you join the Squirt Squad VIP deal down in YouTube and then go over to the Splash Play podcast site, as soon as you sync your YouTube to Discord and get into my Discord, you will get access to this automatically. You just log in with it, and really cool to use Discord as a login. I feel good about that. This SAR number, I think something's off on that. I think it's just probably the naming. He might be Alexander Sar and the sim thing. But anyway, those are your games, your late games if you care about it. Again, if you are a Squirt Squad member, you get this screen, you get the Matrix screen. If you're a VIP member, you get those, plus this, plus this. Nobody gets that one besides me. You get to export as well to Stokastic Sim. So check out splashplaypodcast.com. Join the YouTube channel. That is your gateway to get in here. And then you basically just sync your Discord to YouTube and then your Discord to here, and you get access right away. And it works really well. So really been pleased with that so far. And real fast before we hop over to Stokastic Sim, let me rerun mine. Let's zoom out to... All right, so let's rerun this. And I'll start the Stokastic Sim in another tab too, so we can make both our sims happen at once. But I built the thing, so I might as well show it to you guys because I think it's pretty cool. And what it's doing right now is it builds 5,000 lineups off my projections. and has them compete with 20,000 lineups off of Stokastic data, and then they compete 10,000 times. So it ends up being a bigger contest field than what there actually is, what you're actually playing against tonight, where I think it's like 19,000 people tonight. But I don't mind. I just kind of want to have a thing where it's flat. Like, so I'm not going to change it for 70,000 person slates. It'll just be kind of the same thing. You can see here, I like my sim that much slower than Stokastic, probably a little bit though. All right. We have a name up here. So that's the full sim. And you can also see the debug data here. So how much the fields lineups have. You can see here, it did confirm we got 5,000 unique lineups. Fields got 20,000 unique lineups. My lineups won 27% of the time. Average score for a winning lineup is 335 about. The minimum score, what a fun slate this would be, where the minimum score is 255.5. Maximum score, what a fun slate this would be, where you have to score 430 to win it all. Hey, this is the stuff that I look at. A lot of testing on the back end to make sure that it is running in a way where I could trust it. And then also what it does over here is it exports lineups. And basically what this does for me is I could see the top lineups. I am going to play them myself on some slates because I just want to test how it works and see, like, I like using Stokastic data. Had a great finish the other day with top 5 finish with them. But, I just want to try some different stuff. So, and it also, too, I could set my maxes pretty easily here. A right click on the mouse, and it'll set an exposure that's aligned with how much this player is in winning sim lineups. When you reapply it, and I could upload my CSV and export. So that's what I'm building out. This is, again, something you can build for yourself. See, part of the reason I'm showing this to you guys is, like, it wouldn't be crazy to build this for yourself. You do have to have a data thing. Like, I think uploading via Excel is a big part of it. If you have to use APIs, it gets a little bit more complicated in a way that I haven't been able to figure out yet. If you want to automate things, that's also a thing I don't think works well. But you could build cool stuff with this. Like, again, I could do late swap. Like, I like what I'm building. You might enjoy it too. So check out, if you do it, check out Claude. I think Claude does a good job. That's what you're getting here. Don't scrape my data though. Go get your own. Use Basketball Reference. That's what I use. Plus ESPN and NBA.com. Wink. So, we're scraping from everywhere, right? Let's build a Stokastic sim here without my interference. You saw what my data, what my sim looks like. Now we'll see what Stokastic's industry-leading sim looks like. Great contrast here. Of course, guys, no matter what you're seeing here on screen, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Goes a long way. Also, definitely a lot faster than mine. I felt like in my brain it was close. That was not fucking close. Hit the like button and subscribe. Goes a long way for me here. I'm just one guy legitimately just showing you my gambling, showing you things I'm building for myself to get better at gambling, to make it easier to get my shit done fast, to be able to update things in a time frame where I need to do it. But ultimately, I'm showing you guys the Stokastic products as well, so you see what the best the industry has, in addition to what me, the mom and pop shop, the guy building a car in his garage that might explode, but it might also lead you to where the finish line and all that. So join along for that journey. Of course, check out Stokastic too. 15% off. Link down below. Use the promo code SPLASH when you get over there to get that 15% off any weekly or monthly package. Cheap stuff, expensive stuff. All of it's 15% off. And of course, you will have a better shot at finishing up top. I think it's really idiot-proof in a way where you can get good lineups no matter what you're trying to do, even if it's just play your own players by filtering to players and all that. Do it that way. And last but not least, join the channel, support what I'm doing here. Again, I'm showing you guys different things than I think anybody else in the industry right now here on stream. My good friend Josh Eggleman, about as close as you can get, but we're doing different stuff still. So hey, join along for that journey here and support the show. Get into the live chat, $5 here. If you want access to the stuff I'm showing you at splashplaypodcast.com, join your Squirt Squad tiers down below, and you'll get various ways to see the various things I show you on screen. Various. Top ROI lineups here. Right now, and again, this is not yet updated. Actually, no, it did just update. Thank God. Updated for the Raptors guys out. So that's good news. We got McConnell and Kawhi out. McConnell, Jalen Tyson, Michael Porter Jr., Derek Queen, Day'Ron Sharp, Jamal Shed, Colin Murray, Boyles, Nikola Vucevic. So no Harden in this lineup, but a lot of the other guys we expect to benefit, the Toronto guys in particular, from now having quickly out again. Number 2, Andrew Nembhard, who has had a ceiling lately. No Benedict Mathurin, helps him out a lot. Brandon Ingram, Jalen Tyson, Jay Huff, Ivica Zubac, Craig Porter Jr., Zion Williamson, Colin Murray, Boyles. So Murray Boyles, the belle of the Boyles ball so far. Number 3, Craig Porter Jr. again, Kobe White, Johnny Furphy, not Johnny Furry. Zion Williamson, Joel Embiid, Jamal Shed, John Collins, Ivica Zubac. Number 4, we got TJ McConnell again, Kobe White, Jalen Tyson, Zion Williamson, Day'Ron Sharp, Jamal Shed, Michael Porter Jr., my boy, Ivica Zubac again, assuming that he does play. And at number 5, you have Craig Porter Jr., Brandon Ingram, Kobe Sanders, one of the lesser-owned Clippers pieces, I would guess. Derek Queen, Joel Embiid, TJ McConnell, Colin Murray-Boyles again, Navika Zubac. So I'm glad they updated because that's pretty specific to the guys that are now looking like better plays for some of the players ruled out right before the show. We got number 1 ROI player, Craig Porter Jr. It's all negative ROIs, but we care about the directional accuracy because this is like, you're going to have negative ROIs come together because it's the entire pool of lineups. So Craig Porter Jr., slightly negative ROI, but is your number 1 guy. Navika Zubac right behind him, a little bit of distance of Michael Porter Jr., Johnny Furphy, Zion, Jay Huff, Colin Murray-Boyles. Overall exposures here, 72% exposure for Jamal Shed, Fields at 52. So even with the updated ownership with quickly out, Jamal Shed, a big stand here in favor by Stokastic. Vika Zubac, 59% exposure, Fields 21. He does look like a great play if Kawhi is out, and he is playing, and Kawhi is out. But will Zubac play? We'll find out. Zion Williamson, 47% exposure, Fields at 27. Stokastic does have him at a nicer projection than I have at 41 fantasy points, but it's a big stand on Zion. He's in almost half your lineups. Jay Huff, 46% exposure, Fields at 31. Again, tough to trust the minutes, but Isaiah Jackson's brain is still suffering, so he'll be out. Jalen Tyson, 42% exposure, Fields 29. Craig Porter Jr., big stand on him too. So both your secondary Cavs pieces getting a bigger glow up. 39% sim exposure for Craig Porter Jr., Fields at 13. Your biggest leverage plays, Avika Zubac, 38% more in the field. Not a surprise given the fact that he's in 60% of the top 150 lineups and the Fields at 21%. Craig Porter Jr., 26% leverage on him. He's in 39% of the top 150 and the Fields at 13. Jamal Shed, 21% leverage. That means 72% exposure. The Fields at 52. Zion Williamson, 19% leverage on his 47% exposure. And TJ McConnell, 16% leverage. You're getting 38% in the top 150. The Fields at 22. Murray-Boyles, Jay Huff, Michael Porter Jr., not that far behind. All right, let's do our single lineup sim, guys. Last stage of the journey here. Pulling up the projection matrix that you can get on that Squirt Squad tier. I think it's a beautiful screen. It's been something I looked at on my Excel for years. Didn't know I'd ever be able to make it into a thing on a website, but now you can do it. You can see who the top fantasy point per minute guys are. It's pretty sick. I think it's pretty sick. You don't have to agree, but you should. All right, what are we doing here? We're giving you guys a little handy before we go. For me, my top point guard guy would be Jamal Shed, right? It's got to be easy, Jamal Shed. And Jamal Shed is point guard only, so makes it easier that we don't have to think about putting him at shooting guard. Jamal Shed, I don't care if he busted his chalk the other day. You got to take this shot again with quickly out, with Barrett out. Shooting guard for me, I think would unfortunately be Kobe White. He sucked against Utah. Hopefully he will suck less against the Nets. Bringing it back with MPJ, my favorite small forward right now. He is simming in 28% of my top 150 lineups right now. Power forward for me, Murray-Boyles, I think. Siakam. We know the sim likes Murray-Boyles, so let's give the sim what it wants. We'll give the old plant monster from Little Shop of Horrors, Colin Murray-Boyles. Center for me right now would be Zubac. If Zubac is out, that is going to change. Obviously, we don't play guys that are out. It's a good rule of thumb in DFS. 5,700 left. Let's sort by value. Really, I think I would love to get James Harden in here. Can we go like real cheap for the last 2 spots? Let's try it. Forward. Jordan Miller. So we got Harden and Jordan Miller, and that's too much money. Jordan Miller, too expensive. I go to the furry boy, Johnny Furphy. 3,900. Leaves us 3,400 for one more spot. Agbaji's going to be a better play now. Oof, not a much better play. Stokastic only has him as a 13.6 projection. But let's go Agbaji here. So the team that we're trying to sim out, Jamal Shed, Kobe White, Michael Porter Jr., Colin Murray-Boyles, Avika Zubac, James Harden, Johnny Furphy, and Ochai Agbaji. 25% ROI, we'll take it. 0.2% win rate, we'll definitely take that. Top 10, 1.5% of the time, not bad. Not bad at all, I'd say. I don't know why I said it that way, but I did. Let's have it complete the lineup. We'll take Harden out. No, let's have it complete the lineup. Let's sim this. So if I let it complete it, it goes Jalen Tyson, Jay Huff, Andrew Nemhart. It's probably going to sim a little bit better if I had to guess. What, 33 maybe? No, 57. A lot better. 57% simulated ROI for Jamal Shed, Kobe White, Michael Porter Jr., Murray Boyle. So my base there with Ivica Zubac. Then Jalen Tyson, Jay Huff, Nemhart is what they went to. Some decent lineups there. And if you guys my splash plays for the day, before I do that though, one last ask, guys, please hit that like button, please subscribe. Gonna show up and do the work here every Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. Weekends as well. On Stokastic's live before lock for NBA, and I'm doing the work as hard as I possibly can in favor of you guys, in favor of myself as well. But hopefully it's adding value. I know guys like Will really stoked to hear that we had a 100K winner in the community here. But for you guys, maybe it could be you next. I don't know that it will be, but try as hard as you can, and maybe you'll find results here. And hopefully the work I provide here for you guys will go hand in hand with that. Check out Stokastic as well. Promo code SPLASH, the only deal they have going right now, 15% off over there. Link down below, then use promo code SPLASH when you get over there. Any weekly package, monthly. The Sims are really going to be the best in the biz. Obviously, I'd like to play with my own stuff. Pause. But I like to, it's fun to build new things, but ultimately, if it were life or death and I had to play the best lineups possible, that's Stokastic. That's not hyperbole either. That's winning people money every single night, top 10 finishes, every single night, top 1 finishes way more frequently than even seems plausible. That's what you're getting with Stokastic. So check it out, 15% off, promo code SPLASH. Check the link and then use the promo code when you get over there. And last but not least, join the Discord, get into the live chats, get into the Discord for $5. And of course, if you want access to the data here, my projections, got to join that Squirt Squad tier. You can see the matchup screen, the matrix screen. If you want the VIP tier, you get projections you could use on Stokastic. You get simulation results. You get a lot of cool stuff here that I'm building, which I'm really proud of and hope you guys will enjoy. Of course, my actual exportable projections as well to use wherever you want, however you want. So check them out yourself. Again, link down below. Use that promo code SPLASH. So don't resell it. Don't distribute it. It's not, please. Please don't do that part. Splash plays for the day. Jamal Shed, number 1. He's too good of a value now. I don't care if he sucked the last time he was Mega Chalk. Got to go back to the well. Unfortunately, I feel the same way about Kobe White. I won't be as over on him as Jamal Shed, but it's another bad defense. Wish, again, he had hit against Utah because he should have hit against Utah. But if he hits against Brooklyn, it won't be a surprise because they're not a good defense either. Vika Zubac right now, if he's in, he's a splash play. If he's out, Lopez going to look better. Niederhauser going to lurk as a pivot for that. I think Murray Boyles, unfortunately, is a splash play. In terms of ceiling guys, I do like Scotty Barnes. I do like James Harden. I do like Michael Porter Jr. He's just a splash play overall. But I think that's going to be a lot of the guys I work in at this point. We'll see what we get later on. Guys, make sure to gamble responsibly, of course, even though it is always money time here on these channels. Follow me at Chris Spags. Follow the channel at Splash Play Bets on YouTube, at Splash Play Pod on Twitter. You can see my NFL and my NBA content. Check out my NFL video from today as well, even though I don't have the fancy website yet for NFL. It's going to come next NFL season. There's going to be some stuff for best ball. I've been thinking about it. But go watch that video for the divisional round. Check it out. Very similar process where I show Stokastic Sims, show ETR Sims as well. So check out that video on my at Splash Play Pod channel. If you want, I will be on Stokastic's live before lock for NBA tonight. So watch me at 6 o'clock with my good friend Greg Ehrenberg. Tune in then. And I will see you guys again soon. So shouts to all the sickos out there because this is fully sicko mode here. I'm doing way too much. Me and Claude hanging out all the time. The quest to make the most perfect product possible. I feel like I'm close to it. So we'll see. We'll see if late swap. Well, hopefully I won't need it tonight, but if it works, that'd be really helpful. We'll see you again soon. Enjoy your gays. Enjoy your days, guys. Enjoy your gays as well. Enjoy your days. Enjoy your gays. And love to play with your own stuff. And I'll see you guys again soon. Good luck tonight. Catch me on Stokastic live for lock next 2 days. Sunday for NFL. And I'll see you guys again soon. And good luck. And bye.